Hey guys, we're down here at Weiss Lake in Alabama, launching out of Bay Springs Country Inn right here. I've got Mr. Kevin Hicks right here.
What's up, guys?
We're gonna go out and Kevin's gonna teach me a little bit about which docks to choose and how to catch them when you find them.
Absolutely. We're gonna spend the day looking for docks to find fish on and what to look for on your graph and what docks to start at and how to catch them.
There you go. Let's get to it, guys. If you have not, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get to the water and put some fish in this boat. What you got there?
Some slab sauce. These fish are chasing, so I'm gonna see if I can't talk them into biting.
Yeah, you can see in the water there where it's got the oil for the scent on it. See if that does any better. I believe that done it.
Yeah. They was chasing, so I guess she smelled something she liked.
Now underneath this dock here, they're loaded in here. Why do you think that is?
It's just that time of year. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of sun today, so the shack, it's real dark under here. These fish don't have eyelids. They don't like the sun in particular when the water's clear as it is. And so that you've got a lot of wood pylons as well. Crappie like to spawn in or around wood. So they're gonna load up on these wood pylons. I mean, it just gives them a perfect environment. You know, we're only in 7 foot of water, and most of these are black crappie. Black crappie will spawn out to 20 foot. You know, a lot of people think they only come shallow, but they'll spawn actually deep as long as the water clarity's right. So this gives them, you know, a one-stop shop.
So do you think it's because it's deeper out here on the outside edge and shallower underneath there, so they can move wherever they want to up in here? Is that why they're in here?
I would think so. Most of the docks that we shoot are going to be in deep water or have deep water access. Those usually appear to be a lot better docks than most. And you will find some occasional docks that have, you know, fish on them. But the ones that seem to do the best are the docks that have deep water out in front of them or deep water access. They just, as a whole, they just do better and hold more fish and hold fish more often.
So these fish here, even though they're trying to spawn like that one we saw a while ago, do you think these fish will still be here in the middle of the summer?
Oh, absolutely, and probably more so. You know, just about every dock in here will load up during the summer. What's known as EBOs.
Got them all the way down this.
INBOs on Weiss Lake.
INBOs on Weiss Lake.
And Church House, which is another YouTube guy films up in here. That's Church House right there. It's real famous. These docks in here.
Well, it looks a little famous this morning. They starting to load up back in there. Here comes some more coming in. I think they're longlining, which is real popular down here.
Yeah, longlining is, dog shooting and longlining is probably your two prevalent
techniques for down here. Here they come. Got that one. There's a better fish.
A little bit better fish. Come off that post and ate it. Fat. She's laying. She's actively laying.
This is where it comes in, guys, where that I say you need to learn how to fish before you go to depending on the live scope, because right now Kevin is having to use his trolling motor to keep him off of this dock. So he's fishing old school. He's fishing old school, just flipping that dock because his transducer was pointed out here holding the boat off the front of the dock there.
You've absolutely got to learn the bite before you learn forward-facing sonar. You've got a forward-facing sonar has a delay in it. So if you don't learn the bite, what you see, that bite is actually just a split second delayed on that screen. So if you'll learn to feel the bite before you see it, your hookup rate will be a lot greater. Don't depend on that sonar. Feel the bite, feel the rod. And once you can master that, your fish catching ability will increase tremendously.
I think that's a big thing with people. They think just because they have a live scope that fish are just automatically going to jump in the boat, and there's times that you can use it and there's times that you can't. Kind of like all these guys out here, they are long lining. We got Tim Pentecost right there. He's one of the local guides here. He's got his old outlaw net stuck up there in the air. And they're long lining, and we've got quite a few in here long lining, and that's where that forward facing sonar is not gonna do you a whole lot of good. They are old school fishing, and I'll tell you what, a good day relaxing long lining is pretty awesome. I mean, just look at him. Ain't he sexy? You got 62 degree water temp right now.
Yeah, and up on the north end of Weiss Lake right now, the water temp's 72. So,
oh wow.
Weiss Lake is really weird. So like up north, or what we call north, which is east across the Georgia line, that water tends to warm up a little bit quicker than it does down south here. We're down on the dam end of Weiss Lake.
So this would be considered lower lake.
Yeah, this is considered lower lake. But up north around, you know, Brushy Branch, Ballplay Creek, and a lot of those areas, that water tends to warm up faster for some reason.
Is it a lot more shallow up there?
Yeah, in places it's a lot shallower. The river is more of a channel up there. There's not all these sloughs and cuts. You got a bunch of creek mouths and, you know, basically just main river channel. But it does seem to warm up a lot faster than on the lower end of the lake.
Okay.
And so those fish up there, they tend to spawn a little bit sooner than down on the south end. Like these fish on the south end right now are still slam full of eggs, but the fish on the north end, some of them, majority of them's laid out already.
It's its own ecosystem. It's like a bunch of different ecosystems on the same body of water.
Yeah, it's fish is totally different up north. The fish act totally different up north. The water's not as clean. So just the techniques up there and the way you fish as opposed to down south here are totally different. Like it's...
So we're dock shooting down south, but up there we would probably be throwing bobbers on brush piles?
Yeah, corks on brush piles, single poling, you know, chasing, you know, big open water roaming fish. You know, it's just a totally different fishery, it seems like. It seems like you're in another world.
Now up there, you said open water fish, is you get a lot more white crappie up there?
Yes, and the size of the white crappie up there are a lot bigger
Than what they are down here.
Yeah, the north end of the lake tends to hold the white crappie, and the south end of the lake tends to hold a majority of the blacks. Now that's not to say you won't find both in either place, but just rule of thumb is the north has the whites and the south has the blacks, and that has to do probably with the water clarity up north. Those whites tend to like that more stained, dirtier water, and these blacks like a cleaner water. Little bitty jokers.
Well, the good thing is you left them alone for a little bit and came right back and throwed in there and caught a fish. So I guess it let them calm down for a second, and then they forgot what that bait looked like.
Yeah, and if we're fishing a tournament, we find a dock, it's holding bigger fish, and we catch 1 or 2 of those bigger fish, but we can see more in there. Like, we just make a mental note of that dock, and we'll go find another area
And try to replicate that.
and we'll replicate it, but we'll also circle back to that dock or come back to that dock and give those fish a chance to settle down. And a lot of times when they do settle down and we come back to that dock, we can pull another 1 or 2 tournament fish off of that dock. Just sitting there and hammering them and hammering them and hammering them, they will, you know, they'll lock down.
They'll get wise to what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Like, they know, they get wise to the game. And sometimes we'll go back, you know, and throw a totally different bait than what we threw the first time. And we're able to pull another couple fish out of that dock that otherwise we wouldn't have caught.
There's quite a few of them in there, aren't there?
Yeah, there's quite a bunch. There's quite a few in there. They loaded up onto this one. The way I learned to shoot docks is you want to get that jig head in between your last eye and the reel.
The last eye on the rod right here.
Last eye on the rod. Grab it by the jig head. Open your bail while holding the line like a trigger finger. And you want to load that rod up and bow it. And then get that line parallel with the water and just send it. Let both the line and the jig go at the same time.
Now you grab jig head.
I grab the jig head. It keeps me from getting hooked. I've been shooting docks a long time, and knock on wood, I've never had one stuck in my hand. I do not grab it by the hook. Finally got one to bite. Sometimes you gotta talk them into taking a boat ride.
Think we can get to any of them?
I'm pretty sure we might be able to get to a few of them. Just any part of dark water you can find. This time of year usually is really, really good. That's a better fish. It's about 8 in size here on Weiss Lake. 10 inches is the legal limit here, so. As you can see, that pontoon boat's absolutely loaded up with them.
The man called his shot.
And that's really all you gotta do is just find fish that are loaded up like that and throw a jig in there until you get some of them to bite.
Well, Kevin, buddy, I appreciate you coming out here, man.
Absolutely, man.
Showing me how to dock shoot here on Weiss Lake. If you all haven't, hit that like button, ring that bell, subscribe. We appreciate you. Until next time, guys, we're heading out from Weiss Lake. I don't know where we're heading to next, but you only find out if you subscribe. We'll see you next time.